This exact proportionality between the relative speed of any physical object, the relative rhythm of time, and the relatively traveled space reveals the same nature of the concepts material, physical object, time, and space, the latter being more basic. The nature that makes it possible for us to experience all this is relative motion because of its full physical equivalence to rest due to the continuity of empty space. The fact that light has no rest mass means that in relation to the observer, the travel of light always occurs in a well-defined direction, in a single dimension of space. It is important to keep in mind that everything we are talking about on this subject always has only local validity, although all scientific experiments always occur physically in the same way anywhere in the universe that is infinite in extension through empty space. The validity of all concepts of physics is always relative, since it is always valid in any situation in the universe. The perfect physical equivalence between motion and rest due to the continuity of empty space that allows everything to be as it is and to exist locally. Everything, any physical object, always travels at the speed of light if we combine the distance traveled through space with the rhythm of time, a measure of the space traversed with a measure of the time elapsed. The complementarity between space and time is always exact. All points of view are always physically equally valid. There is no privileged situation, no absolute or preferred pattern of rest or movement in the universe. For any observer, the speed of light is always fixed and immutable. The union of these complements, space and time, we call space-time. To any observer, light is always an oscillation, a variation in the average value of the tension of empty space. Absolute space does not exist for observers because spatial measurements depend on motion. Absolute time does not exist for observers for the same reason, but the complementarity of space-time makes the measurements of this set form an absolute value locally. Absolute space-time does not exist for the universe because for the universe no motion exists, since they are all perfectly equivalent to rest. Locally for observers, the space is something. For us who are matter, for matter space is something, because the tension of space is as substantial as its subject. The tension of space pressures matter. It displaces, moves, and interacts with matter. The effects, the variations in the tension of space, we call force fields. Locally, these force fields are active, they are tense, they have a lot of potential energy. For the universe as a whole, only rest exists. In the theory of general relativity, empty space-time provides the reference of accelerated motion for an observer, which is always valid only locally. General relativity only works locally, always the same everywhere in the universe. Talking clearly, neither space nor time exist for the universe. This is precisely why the universe is locally eternal in time and infinite in space. The universe cannot be influenced or modified by either. Everything that happens through space and time only happens locally. Locally, space-time is a reference for motion. Locally, space-time is something. Even a gravitational force field of equal value 0 remains a potential field that can be measured and modified that provides something. The finding that underpins the theory of relativity is that nothing provides an absolute standard for motion. The foundation of the theory of relativity is the extensive continuity of empty space that allows perfect physical equivalence between motion and rest in any situation. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel and give me your like if you enjoy it.